December 4th, 2024, Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, was walking on the streets of New York City. Luigi Mangione was a man with a plan. He had an ambition to end the reign of Brian Thompson in the health insurance industry. But this wasn't the first time ambition turned deadly in the corporate world. Macbeth, a ruthless, unpolished businessman, rose to power as CEO of Burnham Corporation through extremely immoral practices. Likewise with United Healthcare. He allegedly framed the original CEO, Duncan, and was willing to throw anyone under the bus for that position. His rise was steeped in betrayal of those around him. But at what cost? A loyal friend of Macbeth and longtime respected employee of Burnham stood in the way. A once good friend of Macbeth was secretly against him, taking the CEO position, and Macbeth knew that. He witnessed all the wrongdoings and was capable of taking him down at any point. And in the dead of night, he was silenced.
Breaking news. Banquo, a respected consultant and vice president at Burnham Corporation, was found dead, buried in the woods. His teenage son Fleance, an intern at the same company, has fled the scene and has been missing since. Banquo is a longtime friend of Macbeth, who recently became CEO of Burnham Corporation. The police have assigned Detective Ross Campbell to investigate the situation, and they have been working closely with the team of law enforcement to find more answers. They have since ruled this case as a presumed homicide based on current findings. Detective Ross Campbell is about to give us a live update. Let's hear it.
That night, Banquo and Fleance were en route to an exclusive party hosted by Macbeth and his wife. They never made it. Banquo's body was discovered in a nearby forest trail. Fleance, gone.
Sir! Anonymous sources who worked at Burnham had revealed that Macbeth had been keen on becoming CEO. Once he was finally appointed to the position, his first move was to host a party. Weird enough, Banquo came to the party with his teenage son, Fleance, an intern at the company, yet neither saw the light of day again. But this was also strange. Banquo and Macbeth were longtime friends and had worked together for years. Why would Macbeth, or anyone for that matter, want to kill Banquo?
Do you know why someone would want to do that?
Banquo, he was loyal. He was smart. He was respectful. You just don't kill someone without good reason.
Macbeth was never ruthless for the majority of their time, only in the end of Banquo's life. So how could this be possible?
It's almost as if there was fear. Something struck out.
Fly me to the moon. Let me
They were close. They were like brothers. Brothers in arms.
Banquo and Macbeth were good friends. They had a good relationship. Macbeth was supposedly a good person, till their relationship hit a turning point.
Don't you know I'm still standing, baby? What are you doing?
It was one night that changed everything.
Baby, kiss me.
Banquo told me Macbeth had gotten obsessed with a prophecy, said he didn't trust him anymore. That ambition was eating him alive.
Macbeth was hanging out with Banquo at the campfire, and suddenly he hallucinated. He started seeing things in his imagination.
Oh, hail Macbeth! Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor! That shall be king hereafter!
He saw witches in his dream that had told him that he was bound to be CEO of Burnham in a medieval Shakespearean language.
But Banquo, lesser than Macbeth, but greater. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be not.
And on top of that, his longtime friend Banquo was greater than him, and that his bloodline was bound to take his position once he had gotten it.
He came home with wild eyes. He spoke of destiny. He said fate was his to take, but Banquo was in the way.
He started to act weird. He started to act different. It's as if Macbeth had changed.
It seems as if Macbeth had gone crazy. He became overly ambitious on becoming CEO, and his relationship with his once best friend had soured. Macbeth's hallucinated prophecy came true. He became CEO, but Banquo was still in his mind, so he threw the celebration party. At around 7:47 p.m., Banquo and Fleance had entered Macbeth's estate, a large forested property. Fleance had then received a phone call, a 10-second phone call, from a random person.
That interaction lasted 10 seconds, enough to give an order. The man's identity? Still unknown. Odd thing is, no new guests were recorded arriving. No one was escorted.
Okay, let's get to Macbeth's place. We can't be late.
They were the only ones in that forest. They never got to any house. They had never come out of that forest trail.
He became unhinged. He saw Banquo's ghost at dinner in front of nobles and said he had blood on his hands.
Banquo was found dead deep into the forest trail. They never got to any house.
How do you know it was homicide?
Banquo's wounds were consistent with a coordinated ambush. 3 assailants using blunt and sharp force trauma.
A phone call that led them to a random forest trail, which they thought led to Macbeth's estate. A forest that would find Banquo dead. And that phone call?
One suspect got a call from an unlisted number, traced to Macbeth's assistant's burner phone.
Run, Fleance!
The body wasn't buried where the murder happened. It was found pretty far off from the trail. The killer must have moved him. Strangely, the fingerprints found on the body were not of Macbeth. Detective Ross Campbell and his team were able to trace the fingerprints to a 25-year-old man by the name of Michael Salib.
Why the fuck did you kill Banquo? Why'd you kill him?
I didn't do it, I swear! I didn't have a choice! I didn't have a choice!
He was convicted of first-degree murder and was deemed a hired hitman. But something still hadn't added up. Who hired the hitman?
So why'd you do it?
He didn't say kill Banquo, he said, "Are you man? Then act like one." He gave us gold, directions, and a job no witnesses. You want justice? It's not in castles, only ghosts.
The detectives were able to find surveillance footage of Macbeth's estate that captured Michael Salib, the killer, talking to Macbeth 15 minutes before their arrival at the forest.
That was security. I asked him to help guests who got lost in the trail. I didn't know anyone was hurt.
Macbeth was talking to the same hitman who killed Banquo before he was found dead in Macbeth's own forest, at his own party, all because of a phone call made to Banquo traced back to him.
No confession, but too many coincidences. Everything leads back to Macbeth.
Banquo died beneath the trees. Cleance vanished into them. And Macbeth, he rose power, wealth, legacy, all in line with the prophecy. Maybe if Fleance would show his face, he could give us some solid changing evidence. But for now, all roads lead to Macbeth. But not enough to put him away. He was never charged, never convicted, but the truth refuses to stay buried.